Hello and welcome to Nicole Reacts, a show in which I, Nicole, react to online marketing gurus that I find on the internet. My qualifications for snarking commentary that I've owned a marketing company for 15 years. In that time, having worked with hundreds of clients on marketing strategy and implementation. So if you have any gurus you want me to react to, any specific videos, any topics, feel free to leave it as a comment on this video. Or if you're more shy, fill out the contact form of the website and that goes directly to me. So our goal here, folks, is monetization. So if you feel so moved, please subscribe to the channel. I need 1,000 subscribers to monetize. The good news is I'm more than halfway there, which is great. But if you're still on the fence, there is a whole playlist of Nicole Reacts videos, both on YouTube in the Nicole Reacts playlist, as well as on the blog. So let's get back to where we left off last time. This is future me, and we were watching a video about how to make affiliate marketing website that's going to make us $21,000 in passive income in the month. We spent part one of the first video setting up the development site, installing the software, installing the theme, and all of that, getting that all set up, buying the domain name. And in this part, he took a sort of template to start with, and now he's going to be designing the site. And he concentrated a lot on the sort of fancy whiz bang things like, "Ooh, these buttons animate and the stuff flies in from the side." But I'm really curious about things like how he's gonna make her logo, how he's gonna work on the messaging and all of that while he's doing this, because while those whiz bang features are cool, they're definitely not the most important part of any website. We're at the 50-minute mark. This is a 3.5-hour training. I'm really curious how we're going to make $21,000 a month in passive income from this thing. Very curious. Let's get started. So here is the template. It has placeholder content in it. What he's going to do is go through it and customize it for his partner who is going to be doing affiliate marketing with it. So let's see where we're at.
But in our case, we're going to take this website, which is pretty cool as it is, and build Bethany's website, which is, I think, even cooler. So let's go back to our WordPress admin. I'm going to go ahead and close this little window. It takes up space and I don't like it. Now, since we're going to be building Bethany's website first, before we do any of the shopping cart related things, and some people may not even choose to use the shopping cart, we're going to go ahead and disable the WooCommerce shopping cart for now, and then we can reactivate it later when we're ready. So the first step to do that is
So he installed a sort of template that had e-commerce built in and now he's disabling it. I guess he could have just picked a different template that didn't have that, but okay.
we're going to go to plugins, scroll down, and we'll just deactivate WooCommerce. Next, we want to remove the shop button. In this case, on our website, it's right there. To do that, we're going to go to Appearance, Menus, and now we need to choose the menu we're going to look at. So we're going to pull down that menu there and choose Primary Menu.
I wish he would have given a bit more of an orientation of how WordPress organizes stuff so that as he was clicking through to things and he'll keep going back to them, we could get used to it. But basically, what I like to think of it when I'm working on a WordPress site is it's like I'm looking at a picture in a frame. And so the top part is the header. That's part of the frame. It's going to be on every page. There might be a sidebar, kind of one side of the frame that might be on every page or just might be a fixed element. And then there's the footer, which is the bottom part of the frame. So what you can do is you can customize those elements either to be on every page or to be on some pages. And then for each page, you have the central part, which is where the picture would be in the frame, and that is your page's content. So things that would be in your header, for example, would be like your logo, your navigational menu, the important pages, maybe a search bar, maybe some social media links. But there isn't, that's the only things that are up there on every page. And then the footer might have social media links, maybe an address and a phone number, maybe links to less popular pages, like if you have a careers page or a privacy policy, maybe a form where people can subscribe to your email newsletter. So there's certain kinds of content that goes in those places, and that kind of carries throughout the site. So looking back at his stuff in terms of what controls this, widgets are little elements you can drag in the sidebar in the footer. So that's under appearance. Menu, which is also under appearance, is the navigational menu. And the customize area is typically where you can upload your logo and do maybe some customizations in your header or in your footer or in your sidebars. So those are all of those sort of things are typically in that appearance area. And then there's pages. And so if I made a page called About, for example, and I put a couple of paragraphs about my company, that content would appear as the picture, but there would be the frame, the header, the footer, potentially the sidebar going around whatever content I put on individual pages. I think that's more helpful to know because otherwise it's hard to be like, why are we here? Why are we there? It's nice to know how this stuff is organized. There's more stuff in the sidebar as well, which we'll get into, I'm sure, later, but that's just how WordPress organizes its information. And then everything you ever upload, pictures, audio files, video files, PDFs, all goes in the media folder. And so media might be associated with a particular page, but you can also just upload stuff into the media folder for use on multiple pages. So anyway, I personally think that's helpful to know. Maybe you don't. I guess we'll see, but we'll let him get back to changing the navigational menu here.
Hit select. And now we're looking at the primary menu. Inside of the one that says shop, I can remove that for now. And now at the bottom, may have to scroll down to get to it.
On the screen, you see there's a display location, it's primary menu. So the primary menu is usually on the top. Sometimes there's a secondary menu, which is also on the top. I see this less and less on websites these days, but if you're a chamber of commerce, for example, you might have, about the organization, events, business directory, whatever. And then you might have another menu that's more geared at tourists. It might be like visit, eat, shop, stay, and those might navigate people to those different parts of your website that tourists want versus your individual business members. So sometimes it's good to have two kind of menus on the top. Usually they have like a different color background or something. And then there's also, as you see, called a footer menu. So that's a menu on the bottom. So, like I said, that tends to be pages that people need to get to, but maybe it's a little less important, like the careers page, the privacy policy page, that kind of thing.
But save menu. And now when we go back and reload our site, there's no longer a shopping cart in there for now. So we'll go back to our WordPress admin. And at this point, I wanted to discuss the things that can go wrong.
He's putting Murphy's Law on the screen. Nothing is as easy as it looks. Everything takes longer than you expect. If anything can go wrong, it will at the worst possible moment. And in the last video, he spent a lot of time saying how easy this was going to be. I understand the duality of this and that it's important, but also it can be a little confusing because he was just telling us, if you watch the first video, about 5 to 10 minutes before this, that this was incredibly doable and very easy.
Murphy's Law states that when things can go wrong, they will go wrong, and you will experience this yourself. It's been my experience plenty of times while building websites that random unexplained things can go wrong. For example, once I wanted to update my theme and the theme button would not work. Another time I clicked on my widgets page and instead of seeing these widgets, the page came up empty like this. Another time on my shopping cart, where there should be stars under the review, there were just a bunch of S's instead. Another time inside of my customized options, only a portion of the options were showing up instead of all the options I expected to see.
My God, I forgot. He loves doing these little animations between his slides. I don't know. It's a little gimmicky to me. And then he has all this stock content, like these little question marks that are going to fall from the sky, I'm sure. Hey guys, editing Nicole. So just to prepare your hearts, every time that there's a theoretical question, he's going to make the question marks fall from the sky and he's going to phrase the question and then he's going to say, I will tell you for the answer. So just enjoy that with me. All right, back to the video.
So I know right now you're saying to yourself, hey Yoda, what am I going to do about these things? What happens when they go wrong? I will tell you. In most cases, the problems can resolve with a simple keystroke. If you're inside the page that you want to fix, for example, let's say it was this page, I can hold down the control key and the shift key, and then I can hit the reload button at the top left. And in most cases, that'll solve the problem and you'll see the corrected version. Alternatively, you might also try clearing the cache inside of your browser. You may try restarting your browser. Or you might also try viewing your website in incognito mode to see what the rest of the world sees. And at this point, if you're still having problems, just leave a message under the video and we can work on your problem together. Now, as a last resort, you can always restore your website from a backup when things really go wrong. Now, unfortunately, if you don't have a reliable backup solution in place when something goes wrong with your website, you stand to lose everything. I personally use Backup Buddy, which has saved me many times over the years.
I also use Backup Buddy, but I know that different hosts have different backup policies. So whoever your web host is, Make sure you understand what their backup policy is. I know Svaha, who I use, does nightly backups and keeps those backups for 2 weeks. I know that's pretty reliable. So if I find the problem within 2 weeks of it showing up, I probably have a backup I can restore. In addition, obviously, to taking my own backups too. There's nothing wrong with a couple different insurance policies when it comes to anything important like your website, right?
Either way, you want to consider a backup solution that meets your needs. If you're looking to make scheduled automated backups of your WordPress website where you're in full control, as well as make manual backups at any time that you can store locally on your own computer, then you'll want to check out my WordPress backup and restore video at some point.
Where I bet he will try to sell us Backup Buddy, which is a paid plugin and it's great and I have it, but him not disclosing that he's an affiliate for the Astra theme or for HostGator hosting and all of that, I feel a little odd that he's going to recommend this and also not say that he has a affiliate relationship with these different things he's recommending.
Now, in my case, I also installed the Backup Buddy plugin in Bethany's new website. And periodically, as we go along, I'll save where I'm at in case something goes wrong. I can always restore to where I'm at.
Yeah, I always recommend my clients do this. A web host might be backing up weekly or nightly or monthly, depending on their policy. But what I do if I'm doing a lot of work on a website, I save it every hour. And worst case scenario is, oh, nothing went wrong during the last backup. I can just delete it and then make a new backup. So just keep saving. There's some amount of auto saving that happens, but your web host is not clairvoyant and doesn't know that you're going to spend the next 10 hours working on your website, right? So if you're going to do an intense period of work, I do also recommend regular backups. I think there is a free plugin called WP Backup, which will also back up your site. I don't think it's as good as Backup Buddy, but like it something is better than nothing. And if you don't want to spend any money on this, I get it, but having something going on backup wise would be better than not having anything.
So at this point, I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to choose Backup Buddy.
Okay.
I'm going to choose Complete Backup. Watch it do its thing.
Yep.
Which really doesn't take that long.
He has a fast connection though.
And when the backup's complete, I scroll up.
It's a small site.
And I choose Download the backup file. And this downloads a complete copy of the entire website and the database in case something goes wrong.
I'm going to move myself here.
And now we're ready to make some adjustments to the header section of Bethany's new website. If you look at the real-time one, there's a logo to the left and a menu to the right. On ours, the logo is above. Let's go ahead and get started in making some of these changes. So we'll go back to our WordPress admin. We'll go to Appearance, Customize.
And just so you know, so his backup file size was 68 megabytes. I think most websites I work on are around 400-ish megabytes by the time I'm done with them. Our website is a hot mess because I have like courses back there and I always experiment on my own stuff. So I think our website might be like 1.2 gigabytes or something. But yeah, obviously we want the file sizes as small as possible so that not only that we're paying less in hosting or don't have to upgrade our hosting as soon as we'd have to otherwise, but also so that the site loads fast for our visitors.
Header Builder. And notice down here, it shows us the orientation of the stuff that's up here. For example, I can move this one over here and it shows that logo over there. I can move this one over here and it shows the menu over there. Now we're going to choose the
Divi works similar.
Site identity and logo button. And we're going to change our logos. So we'll click on change logo. I wanted to point out an interesting quirk about the media library. Sometimes when you load the media library, it'll be in this mode, which is upload file mode. However, sometimes when you load your media library, it'll come up in media library mode where you see the pictures. And you see how it could be confusing. If I bring up a screen that looks like this, but yet you go into yours and it looks like this, it could be confusing. So just keep in mind that if you see this, but you expect to see all the pictures, all you have to do is click on media library to bring up the picture version. So let's go back to the upload files. Now I can select files here, but the much easier way to do that is to bring up that folder we have that has all of our content in it, but we can drag stuff from the content folder directly into here. So I'm going to scroll down and look for my logo, and there's my menu logo. I can drag that over.
He said he was going to talk to us about making the logo, so maybe he's going to do that after this, but I'm curious if he actually will.
I can choose select. We're going to skip cropping, and we'll scroll down. We'll change the next image. Now it's in our library, so I'll choose it again.
Why are we picking the logo
Choose
twice?
image.
Logo and retina logo. I don't know what the difference between that is.
Scroll down. And what width do
Oh, different logo for retina devices. So he could just toggle that off and just use one logo.
I want it? And this little icon here says on a regular computer screen. And I want the width on a regular computer screen to be 230. See how that made it the correct size there? Now,
It's funny how he'll do things like go through exactly how to buy a domain name, but then he'll gloss over stuff like, "Oh, 230. That's the logo width." Like, how did he get to that number? Why are we picking that number?
if I click that icon, now it's in tablet mode. And in tablet mode, I want it to be that size. And also, I can move this to the left, this to the right. We click that icon again. It shows us phone mode. I want to go ahead and make that 180. We want to make sure both of these settings are turned off, which they are by default. And now we want to upload what's called the favicon icon. And that's a little icon like right here
I always thought it was favicon, but okay.
where you see the Webyoda one. On Bethany's, you see the Selftastic one. And on these two tabs, it shows the WordPress default.
So the thing is that this is gonna be, like, displaying at 16 pixels by 16 pixels or something like that. It's gonna be really small. So whatever you pick for this, just make it something simple so that it can be seen at a small size.
So we'll choose Select Site Icon. You want these images to be a minimum of 512 by 512. We'll go back to our library.
You can make it that big if you want, but it's gonna display pretty small, so just keep that in mind.
And here's our logo for the favicon. I use the PNG format for most files. It's a very versatile format.
Also, you can make the background transparent.
So I'll drag that over. I'll hit Select, choose Crop Image. And now you see it showed up down here. And when we refresh this page, it'll also show up. So we'll hit Publish. Now we're not seeing it here just yet, but if we come over here and we hit Reload, I held down Shift and Control when I did that to make sure I got a better reload. And now it shows the new icon.
And if you would have had something in the background of it, you would see the background of it around that icon. So anytime you save a logo, save it as a transparent PNG file. That way you can put it on top of other backgrounds.
The logo's to the left, the menu's to the right. We're making progress. Now notice this doesn't have our logo yet.
Yeah.
And that's because this is a transparent menu bar. So we're going to go ahead and go back and change the logo in a couple of other places.
The fact that you had to change the logo in 2 places and it's still not changed is weird to me, but okay.
The logos we've done so far will make sure the logo shows up correctly in your shopping cart in case you're putting a shopping cart on your website. So if we scroll to the top, we can hit Customize Transparent Header. And now we scroll down and we're going to change these two images. So that logo is right there. Choose Image. Again, or change Image. Choose that one. Hit the Choose Image button. We scroll down. Now we're looking at the phone version still. If I click that, it displays the computer format again. I want to make that 230 for the computer, as before. And then for the tablet, I'll make it 200. And for the mobile, again, 180. Let's choose Publish. Go back to our new website. Hit Reload. And now we have a nice logo here. But you're saying to yourself, but you don't have a logo. What do I do? I will tell you.
Look at you anticipating my questions.
If you're looking to make a professional logo for your website online at no cost to you in about 5 minutes time, then you'll want to check out my Make a Free Logo video at some point.
Okay, he said he was going to cover this. He said, I'll talk about designing the logo, but now he's just, oh, you can go watch this video if you want to know how to design a logo. I did a video called Pathways to a Logo on my YouTube channel. So feel free to check that out if you want to know what your different options are related to logos.
The next thing we want to do is to be able to change this font. This font may be fine for you and you don't need to change it, but I want a different font for our menu. So we'll go back into our WordPress admin. I'll choose X. And just for consistency, I'm going to show you how to get to these things each time from the top menu.
Yep.
So we're going to go back to Appearance, Customize.
So basically, you can think about anything looks wise about the site. So fonts, colors, how buttons look, all of that is going to be under appearance and customize. I still don't know why you didn't make a child theme though. That is standard WordPress practice is you make a child theme so that when you make edits that if you update the software, it doesn't accidentally save over changes you're making in the theme files. But okay.
Header Builder, choose the primary menu button, choose the design button, scroll down, and here's the menu font option. They really hide this stuff, don't they?
I don't think it's that people are hiding it when they make these themes. I think that they're trying to make it customizable. And for every person that doesn't care about if there is a border around something, there is somebody who does. So they're trying to give enough customization that you can change the look and feel of the site without having to know code. And so because of that, there's a lot of settings. What I tell people is part of what you're hiring when you hire a web designer is I've made a series of these minute choices on your behalf, and I'm just letting you weigh in on the important stuff. I'm spending my time doing stuff like this. Okay, let me make the menu font match the branding guidelines that this organization gave me, that kind of thing.
So I'll click on the pencil, and I want the family to be Open Sans condensed. I'm going to choose 24. I'll choose publish. Come back over here, reload, and I like that a lot better.
I wish he'd talk about, like, how did he pick that font? How did he know to go look for that font? For most people, I say if you go to google.com/fonts, you can look at all of the fonts that Google has to offer. And because they're web-based fonts, we can load them on the website and they're free for us to use. We're paying Google in a variety of ways with our data, let's face it, but least they could do is throw 700 different fonts at us to use. So what I tell people is to go look through Google Fonts and to tell me fonts that they like, and then what I can do is find things that pair well with them and try to make something they like work for them. So I wish he would have said why he liked Open Sans as a font, but I guess we'll never know.
Now I want to look at how to set base colors for your entire website. So we're going to close that out. Again, for consistency, we'll start at the dashboard. We'll go to Appearance, Customize, Global, Colors. And now here's your colors for your website. The only one I'm going to set right now, just so you see how it works. So I'm going to choose this, and I want to scroll, and I'm going to put my background color in there. And you're like, where did I get that color from?
The
I came
document.
over to our script.
Yeah, so he saved in this document every hex color that he wanted.
I'll scroll to the top, and these are all the colors that we had predefined. Me and Bethany sat down and figured out the colors we wanted. You'll want to go in and decide the colors you want, and then when you save them in a file, you can always get back to the ones you need for the different things you need to use them for.
So what I really wish he'd talk about here is how he knew how many different colors he would need and how to make sure that those colors are going to work together. Because here's the thing is that when you pick a color palette, maybe for makeup, you're constrained by your skin tone, and that there's just certain colors that just aren't going to work with your skin tone or certain colors that aren't going to work with each other. With web design, what we need is we need colors that are contrast enough so that we can put them next to each other, so that we can overlay them on top of each other, and so that it doesn't look stupid. So, for example, I had a client who wanted an entirely pastel website, and I had to explain to her that, like, if we go pastels and I'm putting a pastel on top of a pastel, it won't be readable. Like, we need at least one, like, dark gray or bright white or something to go with it, among some other things. If we want a bright shop now button and all your colors are pastel, how are we gonna make that button stand out? We do need some colors that contrast well with each other. And I wish he'd talk about how did he go about helping her pick these colors? Even a little bit. Even, hey, go to this website and here's how to try some different color palettes. Or I use this tool, whatever. Here's an affiliate link for it. I just want to know his process a little bit more here. I think it would be really helpful.
So in my case, the background color was this light blue, and that's where that number came from right there. We came back over here. I can hit publish, and you could set all your default colors for your website within here. The what's there is going to work fine for.
And you want like your link color to be relatively bright. And for example, you want it to be able to stand out against whatever the background color of your website is. So if the background color of your website is white, you can't really have a gold link because the contrast isn't going to be enough. That yellow looks great on that dark green. So again, I feel like he's been really specific about some things and he's really glossing over things like design choices and how to make them so that when people build their websites, they're excited about what they see. Let's get back to it.
What we're trying to do for right now. And one of the last steps that we want to do that have to do with kind of the setup of things is when you come to the website.
He keeps going to the same screen and it keeps trying to run the backup. So I wish he would just pause the backup software because every time you get back to the page, it's trying to run a backup. That's why we keep seeing the little ticker running every time we go back.
And let's say we clicked on testimonials. Notice how it says the word testimonials here. Now, the page name you assign to a web page is called the slug name. So in this case, the slug name for the testimonials page is testimonials. To make WordPress use the slug name as the page name requires a specific setting in WordPress. And let me show you what I mean. If I come back in here,
See, now see how it's trying to run the backup again?
you go to settings, and then you go to permalinks. This defines the different ways that your URLs for the pages can show up. By choosing post name as the permalink setting, you are telling WordPress to use the slug name as the page name at the end of your URL. And so if you're following along and you built your website with a different theme or something like that, yours may not have the permalinks set the same way we want to set them. Typically, post name is liked better by search engines, so we like to use that.
It puts the keyword in the URL, and there is some importance to that, but it's not like this is 80% of your SEO or something. It's 5%, but hey, every little bit helps, right?
Now I'll scroll down, hit Save Changes, and now if we go back to the website we're working on and we click the Home button, we're going to start making this page look like this page.
I wish he would have been like, "Hey, by the way, if you're wondering where something is set globally, like how does your site know to load in HTTPS, or what are the default sizes of the media files you upload? And when you select that you want a medium-sized image, how does your WordPress site know what medium size means to you?" It's in this whole settings section. Let me briefly take you through it for 5 minutes. What's here? And then as things come up and he goes back there, we can be like, "Oh, that's a site-wide thing that would be under settings." Again, like, just he's not doing a bad job here, but just scaffolding the learning a little bit, I think would be helpful. Former teacher in me, but
So let's go back to our WordPress admin, and we're going to choose Pages, and that brings up the pages that are in our website. And then down where the home page is, out to the right, when you're hovering over it, you can choose.
and he's not gonna say it, but see how it says home and then it says front page, comma, Elementor. It's saying this page is designated as the front page. If you wanted to make contact your front page or about your front page, you could do that in your WordPress settings. That's a global that's like something that is true site wide. When someone hits home, where do they go? They go to this particular page. So that's also how you know if you have a list of pages on a WordPress site, which one is home. It could be the one called home, but it might not be. It's whatever one is designated as the front page.
Edit with Elementor, and that loads our home page up into the Elementor editor. Now, the Elementor page builder is the most popular page builder on the planet, and you're going to find out.
It might be the builder that's the most, because you can use Elementor with different themes, but the Divi builder is used with the Divi theme, and that's the most popular theme. I don't know, just saying. It's a little debatable, but it is a popular way to build a WordPress page, custom in a drag and drop way.
Out real quickly why that is. It's just really easy to use, super user friendly, it's fast, reliable, all those fun things.
Yeah, it's well reviewed by a lot of people. So I'm not poo-pooing it. I'm just saying that there are other tools that are similar to it, but people do seem to like this one a
Now,
lot.
before we get started making changes to our page, I wanted to give you a little bit of background on how this works.
Okay.
At the very top, you see these icons, and this is the section edit icon. This allows you to control the section, which in this case is this whole area here, whereas this section is that section there, and that's a different type of a section. We'll talk about that. Notice how it's got a little border on here. If you click on, that's called an intersection. See right there?
Intersection, not intersection.
If you keep going down and we click on here, that's
every blue tab. Got it.
a section in itself. So each one of these, it's basically a row is what a section is. Now, inside of a row can be columns, and this little icon here defines the column. So as we scroll down, this particular one here has more than one column in it. Notice there and there. And this one here has a column here and a column here. So you see that's the section. We click on that, it shows a section. In this case, it's called an intersection. I'll tell you how that's different. We'll use that later. But it's still a section. And inside a section, there's columns. So a section is a row, and then the columns inside of it, there's a column marker. So you edit the column by clicking on those.
So if you've ever wondered, okay, how does a website keep everything in line, right? Because you might be looking at this on a mobile screen, or you might be looking at this on a tablet, or you might be looking at this on a 24-inch computer screen. How does it know how much space to take up? And this is overly simplified, so I'm just acknowledging that. If we look at this section that he's showing that has the 3 columns, what you can do is say, okay, we're going to build in 20 pixels of padding on the right side and the left side. And then after building that in, we're going to make, say, each of these column things should be one third, one third, one third, one third. And then as the screen size reduces and it gets to a certain size, at a certain point, they're going to start piling on top of each other. Season sale and then free shipping and money back is probably how it's going to display and when it's on a mobile screen. So it's how we used to design websites like in the 90s was using a series of tables, but that worked when everyone was on the same size screen. But now with responsive design where things have to dynamically resize, it's a lot easier to think of things in proportions and then design for what are called breakpoints. So when something moves from a certain size to here to maybe 900 pixels or 800 pixels, that's about tablet size. So we might switch to a mobile hamburger menu at that point. We might decide that, oh, this section is going to go away so that the page loads faster, whatever. So that's a particular breakpoint. We're looking at proportions and breakpoints as a way to keep things aligned on different screens. That's why everything here is row and column based because it's a little table-ish, but it is done in a way that's much more mobile friendly these days.
And then inside of a column, this is a cell, you can put different widgets. So that's a widget, and see the little icon? That's how you edit the widgets. So when you scroll down to any area, here's the section, that edits the section. And then here's the column. If I click on that, now I'm editing the column. And then inside of that, look, there's 1, 2, 3 different widgets. If I click on that, it's editing that widget. If I click on that, it's editing that widget. If I click on that, it edits that widget.
Yeah, typically when an edit pencil appears, you can click on it and then it'll let you edit the thing.
Furthermore, within each section, within each column, and within each widget are 3 different ways that you can edit. So for example, where it says our happy clients, if I select that, on the left, I can change the content. So here's the content. I can change the style of that content, and then I have advanced settings for that content. And that's true for anything. So when we come to the top and we click on this content up here, that is the section at the top. Here is the layout, in this case, the style for that section, and the advanced settings for that section. And if I go to the column, here is the layout for that column, here's the style for that column, and here's the advanced for that column. And then inside of this, if I click on a widget, there's the content for the widget, the style for the widget, and the advanced for the widget. So that's enough to get us started.
I know what you're thinking. This is very detail in the weeds, and the problem is, like, designing stuff is very detailed and very in the weeds. That's the whole thing of it. Even if you're a really good web designer, you're not gonna get everything right the first time. You're gonna put everything you think you want on there, and then you're gonna look at it on a phone or a tablet, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, no, that's not working," and you're gonna go and fix it. So you just have to be comfortable with the fact that there is all these minute details, and you're going to be going in and changing those minute details at least one time. Just get used to that idea, I say.
The first thing I want to do is change the background from being this cute girl to being the one that's going to be on our website.
Isn't this like your wife? This cute girl to my wife, who's a beautiful woman.
So we'll choose the section at the top.
He could have gotten some brownie points there, but he didn't.
And then we're going to choose between layout, style, and advanced. We're going to choose style. And here's the image that we're going to change. So if we click on that, I need to put the new image I'm going to use here. So we'll bring up our content folder. And now I'm looking for the cover image. And it's that one right there, cover home. I'll drag that over. And then I'll choose insert media. And now it has that image. We can hit update at the bottom. Go back to our website, hit reload. And it's that easy. Pretty neat, huh?
But how did you know to crop the photo to the correct size, right? Because not every picture you would put there, even if it was the right aspect ratio, would actually work design-wise in this scenario. So I wish he would talk about how he selected these images and prepared them before they were uploaded a little bit. Even if he just said, I have a whole video about how I prepared the images over here, that would be really helpful because all of these things add up to you having a website at the end of the time you spend, however many hours or days, that you have a website that you actually like.
So let's go back to Elementor. And one of the things you might ask yourself is, where did I get this image? I will tell you.
Okay, I'll give him this. He's anticipating the questions and then answering them.
If you're looking to access the best royalty-free photos and images online at no cost to you, then you'll want to check out my best free stock photos and images video at some point. Or you could simply click on the link at the top right and visit it now.
Webyoda, I'm sorry. I should have just waited. I'm gonna shut up and let you go through the training before I make snarky little comments again.
Now, as that promo mentioned, you can basically get almost everything you need for free online. And that's how almost all the art within this website was collected, was to get free images online.
So this isn't the woman? This isn't the influencer lady? I thought she was the one who was dancing at the beginning of the part 1 video, but maybe she's just another blonde woman.
So if you're wondering, why didn't we just use a free Bethany picture? She decided she didn't want to be the clickbait on everything. So as a compromise, I picked a different picture as the main picture for the website.
Okay, but isn't this whole website about her?
So now let's make some changes to our website. This text right here, we're going to use some of this stuff. I'll click on that widget like that. And on the left-hand side, it's already defaulted to content. And in this box, I want to put welcome to. And then we're going to set some style for that. Typography is basically the font and stuff like that. So we'll click on that. We're going to set the font to Open Sans Condensed. We're going to choose a size of 23. And the weight, which is how bold it is, we'll set to 100. That's what 900 looks like. That's what 600 looks like. And we're just going to use 100. And now let's change this heading right here. So we'll choose that widget. And then on the left, we'll choose content. And we'll type in that. Now, I really didn't want this all the way across. I wanted it to be 2 separate words. So you're going to learn a really neat little piece of code. If you do a less than, the letter B, the letter R, and a greater than, that's literally the only HTML tag you ever need to know.
I don't know about that. So I was looking online because I thought, man, I feel like you're not really supposed to use the break code too often, the BR. It's a line break. Sometimes people use P in between brackets. That's like a paragraph spacer. And it seems like a couple of different websites say that using the BR tag is not something you would normally do, especially to add vertical spacing between paragraphs. I went to a workshop a few months ago, and I feel like it's potentially an accessibility thing. I'm not entirely sure why, but I feel like the BR tag is a little bit of a throwback thing. But if this guy's been designing websites for 20 years, it just might be a trick he knows.
And that tells it to make a line break. And what it did is it put self on one line and tastic on the other.
It sure did.
Now we'll go into style, typography. And for the font, I want to use Lendrina Shadow. So we'll choose that. And we'll set the size of that to 122. Look how cool that is. Now, I don't like the line spacing in between that being so big.
Mhm.
So if you scroll down, here's the line height. Let's set that to 100. That way they're nice and close. And I want to set the margin to 0. And let's look at what margin is. If we scroll to the top inside of our advanced, we've got margin and we've got padding. I want to set this margin from being 20. I'm going to set it to 0. And notice that it took this space out here. As we go along, we'll see some differences. I'll show you how margin and padding are different. Right now, it would be difficult to tell. But both of those things give you a certain amount of space around whatever the item is. But for now, let's just set that to 0. And we'll
So it's really easy to think about design as like fonts and colors and photos and button styles, but it's also how spacing is used, whether it's line spacing, which is the space between lines, or it's kerning, which is the space between letters. There's a really good video I saw on YouTube about this pretty recently that I'll link. And it was like best practices about user experience design, looking at popular websites and looking at things like what are some good rules of thumb for spacing and things like that. I'll add it in the show notes to this video because I thought it was pretty interesting.
discuss margin and padding in depth later. Now for the next line, now we want to change the text in this widget. I'll choose that one. Be the best you. We'll go to style, typography.
Open
For this
Sans.
one, I want it to be Open Sans Condensed. We'll make this 30. We'll change the weight to 100. And we'll choose a line height of 19. And that just told us how much space we want between this text and this button right here. Now I want to change this View More button to a Learn More button. I'll choose that widget under Content, where it says View More. I'll put Learn More. And over here for the link, I'll put About.
So what he's putting here, he's just putting /about. This is what's called a relative link. It is using the base URL as the URL before the slash. So right now he's working on sample.self-tastic.com, but eventually he's going to move it to self-tastic.com. If he put the full link in of sample dot whatever, when he moved it live, like that link would break. So When you make links, make them relative like this if they are linking to other pages on the website that you're working on. So slash about will go to the about page, for example.
And now we can hit update, go back to the page we're working on, hit reload, and wow, look at that. We're making progress. So let's go back to our Elementor. And now I want to add the intro video. But to add the intro video, I first have to add it to the media library. And to add a video, I have to do it outside of Elementor. So I'm going to choose this icon here, and then I'm going to choose exit to dashboard. Now I'm going to choose media, and that takes us to our media library. And this is the same one we're using inside of Elementor. It's just that some things you can load here that you can't load directly into Elementor. And now I'm going to go to our content folder, and I'm looking for our intro video, and there it is. I'm going to take this, drag it to the left. Now that's loaded, I'm going to select it so that I can get this link over here. Now I will copy the URL to the clipboard.
That copy URL to clipboard wasn't always there, and so you'd have to write down the link. It was really annoying.
And now I can close that. We'll go back to pages. We can go back to home, edit with Elementor. And now we're going to select the section at the top again. We're going to choose style. But instead of choosing it to be a background, which is just the classic one, we're going to choose this little video choice. And here we can put in a link. So we'll paste our link in there. And look at there. Our animation automatically worked right out of the box. Now it's playing over and over again. Here's an option, play once. We'll turn that on. So that way it'll only play once. And then when it's done, what we see.
Oh, and there's a toggle button that says play on mobile. So by default, it won't play on mobile. But I love how in the last video, he said, I'm going to show you how to do this video animation. So he's really not, because the video is pre-made. Again, maybe he's going to talk about it in a second. So I'll shut up here.
Is that there's no background. And we're like, but it was there. What happened? The reason is now we need to scroll down, and there's a section called background fallback. We want to click on that, and we'll choose the image we already uploaded, like so. Hit insert media, and now it's there. We can hit update, and that allows it to have the image that's going to be there after it loads. We'll go back to our page and hit reload and watch the animation. But also notice this text is already on the page right there. But on Bethany's site, when you reload, it loads the intro, and then right after the intro finishes, that little menu slides in. Boom. Pretty neat, huh? That's what we want to do. So we'll go back to Elementor. And this is the column we want to set to delay until after the intro video has completed. And so what we're going to do is we're going to choose that column. And now we'll go to Advanced.
Yeah.
And under Advanced, one of the options is Motion Effects. And for the motion effect, we want to choose Fade In from the left. And then we're going to set the animation to 8,000.
Yeah, so 8,000 is 8 seconds.
1,000 milliseconds is 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit longer than our animation is.
Okay, so you have to know how long your animation is. Okay, this is pretty cool. It would be difficult to do something like this in Divi, honestly. I did figure out how to do a background with a Ken Burns effect, but it was a pain in the ass, I'll be honest with you. This is a lot easier.
So we can go ahead and click Update, go back to our version of the website, hit Reload. Now the intro shows, and at the end of the intro, slides in the text. Really neat, huh? But you're saying to yourself, Yoda, that's a pretty neat intro, but I have no idea how to make one. I will tell you.
Okay, Yoda, I just have to wait a little bit longer. I'm like the eager kid in class raising their hand.
If you're looking to make a free video intro for your website online at no cost to you, then you'll want to check out my Make a Free Video intro video at some point.
Okay, so when he says he's going to address it, what he means is that there's going to be a link to how to do it somewhere else, which is fine. But the way he said it at the beginning in part 1, he was like, I'm going to go through how to do all of this. Like he was going to address all of this in the same video. And I was skeptical that he could. And now I understand why he was able to say that confidently, which is that all of these little side quests have their own video and it's not part of this one.
Now we'll go ahead and go back to our Elementor, and we're going to scroll down, and we're ready to work on this next section. Now in this section, I want to build a category section. Typically, you'd use it if you had services that you wanted to highlight or feature in your website.
So you see here, it says there's some short code that's loading. It's in brackets and says products limit equals 8, columns equals 4. He disabled the shopping cart, and that's displaying some shopping cart content that doesn't exist anymore because the shopping cart's been disabled. So that's why that's there. Also, I wish it sounds like he has all this content pre-written. Again, it would be nice if he was like, "Okay, this is what I did to get ready for this. This is how I figured out what content I was gonna need. This is how I sat down with my partner to figure out what she wanted on her website so I could build it here today." But instead it's, "Oh, here's how to paste the text in." But what people are asking people like me is, "What do I write here?" And that's a perfectly valid question.
This particular piece of code right here, I don't need it. So I can right click on that little icon and choose delete. And now let's start working on our category section. First, we'll delete this widget right here. And so I can right click on that little icon and choose delete. Now for this header right here, I'll select that icon, and over here, I'm going to change that title to be that text. And the color we're going to use, if we go to set style, we can choose a color, and I want it to be that color, a brownish color. Now to get out of color mode, you just click the tab again, so it toggles it open and close like that. Now for typography, the family I'm going to use. This
Open
site pretty
sans.
much we're going to use Open Sans Condense on a whole bunch of stuff. And the padding around this, so if we go to advanced, do padding. Again, we'll talk more about this a little bit later. Right now, see this icon? That's linked together, that's linked apart. If they're linked together and you add one, they all add together. And if they're linked apart, if they're not linked, then you change them individually. I want them linked together. That's the default. And I want to put 20 in there. And that puts space around that particular item. Again, don't worry too much about the difference between margin and padding right now. I'll discuss it a little bit later when I have a good example for it. Now I'm also going to delete this widget. I don't need it. And now we're ready to add a widget. We haven't done that yet to your Elementor environment. To add widgets, we have to get to the collection of the widgets. To get to the collection of the widgets, we choose this icon right here. And these are the different widgets we have at our disposal. Notice.
And if you've ever used like Wix or Squarespace, you've probably seen something like this too. Most drag and drop editors have sort of something like this, and you grab the one you want, you drag it in place.
Some of these have locks on them because we don't have access to those.
Yeah, because they're using the free version of this Astra theme and not the pro version. And so the stuff with the locks on it, you might think, "Oh, I want that." And then you end up paying for the Astra theme. So
the one we want is the one at the top. It's called intersection. Basically, it allows you to make a section inside of a section. So if you hold down on that with your mouse, you can drag it over and see that little blue line? That's where it's going to land at. It's tricky sometimes to get it to land where you want it. I want it to land under the text. And now I have this new section. Now in this first box, I want to put an image. So we'll go back to our collection of widgets. And here's the image widget. I can drag that over. And again, notice I can choose where it's going to land by moving it around. And I want it in that box right there, just like that. And now I want to set that image to be one of my categories. So on this side over here, I can click on that image. And they're not in here yet. So let's go to our content. And we're looking for categories. And we've got 6 categories. I'm going to select all 6 of those. And I'm going to drag them over all at once to save me some time later. Now they're all loaded. If you click on it, that tells you which one you're going to select. And over here, it tells you the particular name of whichever one it is. So in my case, that's my first category I want. So I select that and insert the media. And now we've added an image to our website. Pretty easy, huh? Now what I want to do is show you a trick for reusing widgets. So here, this widget here is a title widget. If I click on that, it says it's a heading. I'm going to right click on that and tell it to duplicate. Now I have a second copy. Now, if I move my mouse over the little widget icon edit, I can hold down on it and drag it wherever I want it. And I want to drag it under this picture like that. And then I want to change this text. So I have that one selected already. Come over here and change the title to say personal development. I'll go to style, typography. In this case, I'm going to change the font. We're going to choose Work Sans. And I'm going to choose a size of 22. And now I want to make a copy of this because I want to be able to reuse the layout that I already have. So just follow me on this. If I wanted to duplicate this picture, I could right click here and duplicate. But what I want to do is duplicate the whole column. So I'm going to say right click and duplicate. Now I want another copy. So I'm going to say right click and duplicate. Now I've got 3 copies. And now on this 4th column, I want to get rid of it. So I can right click on that and choose delete. And now I have the 3 that I want. Now at this point, I can right click on that intersection and choose duplicate. And now I have 6 of those. So you can see quickly, instead of having to build everything from scratch, we have a lot of the stuff that we're going to want to use already. And now we can customize these. One of the things that I don't like is how much space is around here. So let's choose this one. We'll come over to advanced, and we're going to set this to 0. Even though that worked for the top title, it didn't work down here. I'll set it to 0, and I'll disconnect these, and then I'm going to set the bottom one to 20 by itself. Now I need to fix all the other ones the same way. I did this on purpose because I wanted you to see how to copy the style. So here we made a style change on this one.
Okay.
So I can right click on this one, copy it, and when I right click, instead of pasting it to make a new copy, I'm going to paste the style, and it just fixes the style.
I might actually be a convert to Elementor. I'm not going to lie, because you can't easily do this in Divi. Another point for Elementor here.
And I can do that for each one of these. See, that's a neat way to be able to make changes quickly.
That is
to the
neat.
style
That is neat, Webyoda. I'm learning.
without having to do all the work over and over again. Now, I just need to change out the picture
I am your Luke Skywalker. I'm learning. I don't know if that was the right Star Wars reference, but
and the text to match. So to change this one, I choose that image. I come over here, and I pick my second image, hit Insert Media, and then I'm going to choose that text, change the heading over here, and now that one's changed. And then I'm going to do a little magic to get all these to change real quick, since you know how to do that.
ooh.
And now they're all changed.
Okay.
Little fun fact, that's a picture of me and Bethany at one of our favorite resorts at our wedding. Now, if we click on Update and go back to our website.
Okay, it's his wife. So this pretty lady is not his wife, but this was a compromised picture. I thought it was his wife, though. Looks like her.
And you don't have to wait for the intro to load before you start scrolling down, just so you know. And there's our new section. Now, in Bethany's, when you hit reload on it, notice that these things come out to the sides like that. And so we want to do that next.
I don't know.
So we'll go back to Elementor.
If you're like showing someone how to design a website, I'm not sure if that kind of thing is actually important. I'll be honest with you. It's
and now
cool,
we're going to
but
choose this column icon.
It's cool, but if you have 2 hours to build a website, like this is not the kind of stuff I'm going to be showing you. I just don't think it's that important, but okay.
We'll go to Advanced, Motion Effects, and we want to slide in from the right to the left. So for the animation, we're going to slide in from the right. Then we're going to put the delay at 1,000 milliseconds, which is 1 second. Now we'll right-click on that column, copy, right-click on this column, paste style, and now that one's set. It didn't move, but it did set it. So now we'll come over to this one, select it, advanced.
You got to slide in the other direction.
Motion effects. We're going to slide this one in from the left, 1,000 milliseconds, which is equal to 1 second. Right-click, copy, right-click.
Don't forget to hit update.
Paste style. Now for this one, we'll select it, advanced, motion effects, and in this one, we'll choose zoom in. Again, 1 second, right click, copy, right click, paste style. Now we can update.
Yep.
Go back to our website, hit reload, and notice how those slide in. But let me do it again. Notice how this one is on top. So they're stacked in a different order than I want them. Basically, we want this one and this one to be on the top, and there's an easy way to do that. So go back to Elementor. We already have this one selected. Under Advanced, for Z-axis, we put a number 1, the default 0. That'll make this one sit a little bit higher.
Okay.
And we'll do the same thing here. Advanced, Z-index of 1. Hit Update. We'll come up here, hit Reload, and they're coming in exactly the way we want them.
Okay.
Now we're ready to work on our next section. So let's look at Bethany's site. When we scroll down, we're going to make this animation right here, and we'll also learn how to make the background transparent for the umbrella girl. So now let's go to our script, and we're in the inspiration section, and we're going to learn how to make the girl transparent. So first we're going to go to Unsplash, and we're going to do a search for Girl Umbrella Yellow, and there she is. And we can download that if we want. It gets added to our collection in our download folder. And you go to your download folder, you see the picture that's there. Now it's going to be the whole thing. The question is, how do you get just the girl part cropped out? That's a really good question. I will tell you.
I will tell you.
If you're looking to edit photos and images online at no cost to you, then you'll want to check out my How to Edit Photos Online video at some point.
Okay, we're not going to go over it. You can obviously remove background in Canva. There's also remove.bg, which is a website that removes the background, but the free version does save a pretty small file size, so just be prepared for that.
So now let's go to our script. Now we want to go to the photo scissors. This is a website that allows you to crop a picture.
Okay. This is an alternative to remove.bg.
And it says upload an image. Show you how easy it is. Here's my images. There's the one we're interested in. Click open, uploads the picture. Notice that it cropped the girl out, no problem. You can take this and go like that. Now, obviously, I made a mirror image of this, but it gives you generally the idea of what you're trying to do. And then you can choose download, load resolution.
Yeah, it looks like this website has the same thing as remove.bg, which is that it's not the highest resolution.
The low resolution is fine for what you want to do. And you can go back to your Elementor. And we scroll down. So now that we've successfully made our umbrella girl have a transparent background, we're ready to start on our inspirational section and then add her to it. The first thing I'm going to do is going to change this background. So we're going to click on this, and it's called an intersection, this one right here. See how there's an intersection is there and a main section is there. We want to be on the intersection. We want to be on that section there specifically. And then we'll go to style, and then we'll click on the picture. And now we need to upload a picture. And we want to go to our inspirational pictures. So here's our content, and scroll until we get there where they are, our inspirational pictures. And there's the background I want. Drag that over, hit insert. Now we want this to be center for the position. It already is, but check that to make sure. Instead of size cover, let's change it to contained. And now in this intersection, there's two columns, a left and a right. If you grab the edge in between, you can slide it left and right and make it change its size and get it roughly to 40% on the left and 50 or 60% on the right. You can also choose the column and then specifically put it to 40. That's a little easier. And the other one by default will be the difference. Now let's add the girl. We'll go.
Yeah, so it's 100% width, right? Or that area. The 100% width of the area, make the text take up 60%. Okay.
Up here.
So make the non-text column take up 40%.
To where we can pick from our widgets. We'll drag over an image, and then we'll add our image. So we'll go back to our content folder, and there's our transparent girl that we created. Drag that over. We hit insert. Now her image has been added. So from here, we're going to choose advanced. And I want to put some padding at the top. So let's say 200. That moves her down a little bit. And then we're going to go into the motion effects. Default. Let's fade her in from the left. And let's give it 1,000 milliseconds or a 1 second delay for bringing her in like that.
Yep.
And let's let it come in a little more slowly just because we can. Ta-da. There we go.
So there's the duration, which is slow, and the delay is 1,000. Okay. You could also just make the animation go longer too. That would also slow it down, I think.
Now we can just hit update just out of curiosity. It's nice to see our work sometimes. Come over here. We'll hit reload. And there she is. We're making progress. Back to Elementor. We're going to choose our section tab right here to edit the section itself. And then we're going to go to style. And see that background's white. We're going to change it to one of the darker cyan looking colors. And now we're going to go to advanced and change this from 0 to 35 and change that 100 to 0. And Bethany's, you see this little wave brush thing going on right here? We want to add that.
I don't know what he was doing just now with the padding.
So let's go ahead. It turns out being at the bottom of the section above. So we got to scroll up, choose that section, then go to style, and then we're looking for shape divider. We're going to add the shape divider at the bottom, and the type of shape divider we're going to use is waves brush. So we scroll down and you see that's what it looks like. And there's lots of different ones you can choose from. It's worth checking them all out to try different stuff. In this case, we're going to use the waves brush. Then
change the
we're
color.
Set the color to that same blue that's in the section down here. See how it matches now? And then we're going to set the height to 60. There's a lot of extra space right here. So I want to come back up here. We still have that selected. We'll go to advanced. And we're going to change that from 200 to 100. So that brings it in some. And this itself will adjust itself out a little bit to bring that down in a second to make it look more correct. Now over here.
If you're sending me your first affiliate website, I feel like this is way over your head, I'll be honest with you. I'm following 99% of what he's saying, but I've also been doing this for 15 years. Okay, I like this stuff and I'm bored, so I'm gonna fast forward.
A few moments later.
The responsive mode. And then at that point, you can choose between the different views that you're seeing. And we're just going to focus on the mobile version. And you can apply what you learn here to all your other pages and your tablet. So we'll choose the mobile device. And notice this wrap's funny. So we'll choose that. We'll go into style. And for the size, let's just set that to 100. Now that works. Also, the website intro videos aren't typically compatible with mobile devices. So if you find that your video intro is not working on a mobile device, rest assured it's not your fault.
Yeah, it's not that important. If it's going to slow your load time, like just get rid of it.
Now I want to change the padding on this a little bit. And if you go to the bottom of that section, I can change it here as well. So we'll choose the section and we'll go into advanced and we'll set that to 40, 20, 40, 20. And then for this text, I want to make that just a tiny bit bigger. So I can select that text, go to style, typography, and we'll choose 26. Now, when you scroll to the bottom of this section, you notice how the wave is really tall. We don't want the waves to be that tall on the mobile device, so we're going to change that.
So what he's doing is he's doing the kind of things that we do. Once a design is finalized, we go through and we check it on mobile and we fix any mobile display issues. So I'm glad that he's doing this kind of stuff now. And again, it's a little tedious, but so is web design. But I'm glad he's talking about the fact that we do have to fix things so that they look good in mobile because a majority of our website visitors are going to be in mobile.
30 on the left, and we'll do 30 on the right. At the bottom, we'll do 0.
I might
Now
skip.
we want to work on this piece.
Yeah, I might skip the rest of this part, but you see what he's doing here, right? Which is just making things display on a mobile device and on tablet. You're also going to want to test stuff on actual mobile devices because this is like emulating a mobile device, but it's not an actual mobile device. So I think it's good to check on a couple of real mobile devices too. We have an Android and an iPhone, and we have an iPad as well. And we have a few different screens, obviously, in the office. We're able to test on a few real life size things as needed. So
Bring it up a little.
I'm gonna fast forward.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I just skipped about, I don't know, 20-ish minutes where he went over how to do stuff on the about page, like the gradient thing that he was showing, and how to make this masonry gallery. I think his instruction style is actually pretty good. He's good about showing his steps, breaking it down, and the fact that he organized like all his media ahead of time, and he organized all his hex codes ahead of time shows people the importance of having these things all figured out so that when you go to work on the website, you can concentrate on that versus going on all these side quests. But now I think he's going to talk about blogging. So let's see.
And I just like that a lot better. Obviously, it's up to you, but for me, between that and the other things I can do with Elementor Pro, it was worth it for me.
Okay.
If you
So he's trying to get us to upgrade to Elementor Pro, of which I'm sure he gets a cut. Again, I'm impressed with Elementor. It definitely does things that I didn't know it could do. So I'm going to definitely take a look at it and evaluate it more for myself. So I'm glad I watched this video, if only for that.
decide you want to get the Pro version of Elementor at the best possible price,
At the best possible price. I wish he'd stop saying at the best. He can say at the best possible price, but he would say, I'm an affiliate. Like, I wish he would disclose that more explicitly.
just go to webyoda.com/Elementor and choose the Elementor Pro button. So our gallery page is complete. So we can go ahead and exit to the dashboard. To blog or not to blog, that is the question at this point. There's many reasons to have a really good blog on your website, and there's people who just don't need a blog. If your website doesn't need a blog, you can remove the blog button from your menu bar and go ahead and proceed to the Contact Us section. For the rest of us, we're going to go ahead and create a blog. So the first step in adding a blog to your website is to create a header for all of your blog posts, as well as a header for your blog page that contains all your posts.
Basically, you make an empty page called blog. And then in the WordPress settings area, you set the blog page to be the empty page you called blog. And then all your posts will appear there. And you can do some other stuff in settings as well. I'm going to skip this part. I thought he was going to talk in more detail about the reasons to have a blog or not to have a blog, but apparently not. Some people don't need blogs. He won't say who those people are. I wish he would, though, if only his opinion. All right. So I've skipped over how to do blog posts, how to do a blog layout page and make a custom sidebar for it, and how to make an email sign up form, which I believe is going to live in your footer. So Anyway, that's all there. He seems to explain it pretty well. Again, I'll give him props for that. I just feel like these videos are getting a little long, and a lot of it is repetitive things like, okay, we're going to put this picture here. Oh, let's do this padding. Oh, you know what? It's not enough padding. Let's add some more. It's that kind of thing. And again, we don't necessarily need to watch that because how much padding is around a picture, again, it'll make it look better, but it is not the core part of affiliate marketing. So let's get back into it.
Video. If you're looking to learn more about what WP Forms can do for your website, then you'll want to check out my WP Forms for Beginners video at some point.
I like Gravity Forms better, but again, I don't think this is a terrible choice. Like I said, I just like Gravity Forms better.
So we'll hit close. And now we want to test this out to see that we get email.
Okay, we'll skip this part too.
It's a good thing. Now, if we go back to our page, notice it's not secure. If we hit reload, now it has a little lock there, and now we're secure.
So I also skipped the part where he explained how to turn on the secure certificate so that your site goes from loading in HTTP to HTTPS, which is better for search engines and also encrypts sensitive information, like if you were going to put a credit card, for example, in the checkout page of an online shopping cart. So I think now we're getting to the affiliate part. So we're 2 hours and 52 minutes into this 3 hour and 25-minute video. And I think we're ready to finally talk about not just web design, but what it has to do with this being an affiliate website and maybe how it's going to actually make us some money. So let's see if we actually get to the point here.
So our website is officially complete.
All right.
Okay. So our website is pretty much complete, but now we need to cover 10 different ways. I know I originally said 9, but I've got a bonus way that I want to cover.
Ooh, bonus.
10 different ways of creating affiliate income. Most, if not all of those, are possible through your website itself. And to do that, we're going to go to a web page called webyoda.com/AF. Here I've put together an entire collection of all the affiliate resources that I use on a regular basis. So as we look down, you'll see it's got all the different ones. And so what it doesn't include are all the ones over the past 5 years that I've found very difficult to work with. It's only the ones that are real easy to work with. And
is he going to tell us which ones are difficult to work with? Probably not, huh?
I've found the most success making money with. Now, before we jump in, I want to make one comment, and that is now's the time to sign up for each of these affiliate marketing programs that we're going to discuss. It can take time to get approved, and you want to be able to get things approved as soon as possible so that you can get moving forward making money as soon as possible. I think it's important to note that all of the affiliates that we'll be using are free to sign up for and free to use. So if you find an affiliate program they're trying to charge you to be a member of it, you need to steer clear.
Yep, I agree. So the ones I see he's recommending are Rakuten, Impact Affiliates, and Share a Sales, what I can see here. And those are all ones I've also used before.
Now, the first affiliate method we're going to look at for making money online is called Rakuten. So Rakuten is a very unique affiliate in that basically you become your own affiliate. So let me explain. Say you go to Walmart.com. You find something you want, you purchase it, and they send it to you. You purchase the item, and now you own it. However, once you become a member at Rakuten, then when you go to Walmart.com to make a purchase, you automatically make a commission on your own purchase. Now, since Rakuten is associated with over 3,500 online stores, there's a really good chance they're associated with most of the places you're already shopping online.
Yeah, I have the Rakuten browser extension on my Chrome. So when I buy something online, it pops up if there is a Rakuten affiliation with the site and tries to find me coupon codes and stuff too, which is handy.
So for me, that's added up to over $1,800 in just a few years. Now, I brought this up in an incognito window so that I could see the same thing you're going to see. So I'm going to go ahead and click on affiliate sign up. And the first thing is that you're going to get $30 bonus today. So basically, all you have to do is sign up and then pick from their 3,500 different stores that they represent, spend $30, and you'll get the $30 back. And as a bonus, I get $30 for you signing up.
Thank you for disclosing that.
So you see, this is a win-win.
A win-win-win, even.
And what's nice is that then you can tell your friends. They'll go, hey, did you hear about Rakuten? And they're like, no. And you can go, this is great because you sign up, you get $30. And it just keeps propagating. So when I log into my account, you can see I've made $1,800.
Why isn't the threshold? I thought the threshold for payout was like $10 or something like that. I know I get my, is it Rakuten I get the check from? Or is it Retail Me? I don't know. I think the threshold is lower than this.
Basically just buying things that I was going to buy anyway from, these are some of the most popular ones that I've used. And I'm making a small amount at each one of these, but all that adds up over time. It adds up to be real money. So now if we back up,
But if it's taking you like 3 years to make $1,800, that's not buying house money. Can we agree on that?
and so I have 3 other short links. One takes you to search their stores. So if we click on that, this shows you all the stores they represent. Here's some quick categories. You can scroll down.
I don't know if I consider this an affiliate program so much as a sort of buyer savings program. There's also, I think, Honey is another one, Retail Me Not. I think they're all in a category of things where Ibotta maybe, where like you track your purchases and in turn for handing over your data, you get some percentage off. You buy the thing and then you get a check for 3% or 5%, or we're looking on this PetSmart 15% cash back, Kohl's 1%. So it really varies.
Down through some of the popular ones, or you can type something in the box here. Let's back up. The next is the browser cashback. And what this is, how to get access to the browser plugin that allows you to automatically save money.
Yeah.
So let's click that one.
That's the one I have.
And from here, you can install the browser plugins for one or more browsers, depending on which ones you use. I use Chrome and I use Firefox. And that way, anytime you visit somebody that they represent, it'll come up with a box allowing you to activate the cash back.
Also, at a certain point in my life, making myself go on a computer to buy something versus buying it from my phone was a good little pause measure before I spent the money.
So let me give you a quick example of how the browser plugin works once you get it installed. Let's say I go to staples.com. Page comes up, boom, on the right-hand side, I can activate my 2% cash back, and then I do my shopping, and at the end of my shopping, when I place my order, I'll automatically get my 2%. That's the benefit of having the plugin. Let's go back in our browser. And the final one, which I haven't done this one myself, but it looks pretty promising as well, I should try it, is called in-store cashback. And I think this is a fairly recent thing because
I don't know why he's spending so much time on Rakuten. This is a pretty small potatoes thing. I thought I was going to make $21,000 a month here. It says it right in the title of the video on the top of the
I just
screen
found
here.
out about it.
Okay.
Method number 2 is to put an affiliate link inside of a blog post. So let's do that next. So I'll open a new tab and I'll log into the self-tastic.com website to the back end. And I'll go to posts and let's choose the first one. And what I want to do is I want to make a link to this particular book that Bethany's talking about, and this is the title for it. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our Amazon affiliate to do that. So let's go back over to our affiliates page. And if we scroll down, we can get to the Amazons. And under the Amazon affiliate resources, the first button is sign up and log in. So if you choose that one, it comes up with the sign up method for joining the program. I want to sign in, so I'll go ahead and choose sign in. And now if I go back, notice I have 3 additional links. Now, obviously, there's a lot you can do with the affiliate resources, but these are the ones I regularly use. That's why I have these. I can add a tracking ID. Let's click on that so you can see what that is. This is what a tracking ID looks like. The -20 is your country. So in this case, I'm in the United States, so it's 20. So whatever country in that might be different. And then you can make as many as you want. Now, the tracking IDs allow you to know where your traffic comes from. And so for this particular example, this is a Bethany website. So I'll click on hers. It brings it up here. I can highlight it, copy it to the clipboard because I want to use her tracking tag for sales that have stuff to do with her website. That way I know where the sale came from.
Okay.
So now that I have her tracking tag, I'm going to search for...
Again, I feel like this is not real beginner stuff. I feel like just being able to make a link to a product that you like and having it be associated with your Amazon account and then putting it in the blog would be, I think, a more natural place to start. But well,
how to start a blog today. So let's go back and I'm going to choose get product links.
Yeah, that's what we need.
How to start a blog today. And there's the product she wants to promote. We'll choose that. Now, when you look at the URL, all of them will have some little code in here that starts with a B. And what I do is I go to the end of that and I delete everything to the right. And then you put question mark, tag equals, and you paste in your tag. That's the syntax or the correct method for telling the browser that you get credit for this link. So what I did is I highlight this, I'll copy that whole link to a clipboard, and now I hit enter, it comes up with this book. And we're going to add this to Bethany's website. Now immediately you're going, but Yoda, this is a free book. What's the point? Why is she going to do this? I will tell you. One of the things you don't know about Amazon is that
I will tell you.
if somebody comes to their page, even though they're getting a free book, if they buy anything else while they're here, no matter what it is, you get credit for that sale. Now, obviously, when you're making your blog and you're selling items, you're doing reviews, you want to put items in there that actually cost something as well. But in this scenario, it's a free book. But if they buy anything else, we also make money.
Yeah, so you put this in your cart and you're like, oh, I needed dental floss or something. You would get a portion of the sale of the dental floss.
So I copied the link. Now I want to go back, test my affiliate link. You paste that link in, and then you check the link. So notice it says that it's a valid link. So I can come over to her page. I've already got that highlighted. I'll do it again. There's the highlight. I can choose this to make it a link. Paste my link in there. Hit enter. I can update. Now if I go back to her site, I'll make a new tab to do that. And I go to her blog, and it was this one. And I scroll down. That's the text that we made a link. And there's our free book. And if somebody buys this and they buy anything else.
But the tag is different. It's not, it doesn't say the Bethany whatever. It says locate-YDA-20. So it's a different tag.
We also get credit.
It was the same idea though. The other thing you can do if you don't want to keep track of tags is you can just create product links and then just save them in your Amazon, and you can make a Google Doc too and save them there so that they're a little more searchable.
Affiliate method number 3 is adding an affiliate link to a WordPress page.
I feel like this is cheating. Adding a link to a blog post, adding a link to a page. Okay, that's adding a link within WordPress content, I think could be one thing.
Website we just built was an Elementor site, but not everybody's going to be using Elementor all the time. So I wanted to show you how to add it to a WordPress page as well. So let's open up a new
It's the same idea. You highlight the text and you put the link in.
tab, and we're going to go into Webyoda's admin. We'll go to pages, and the one we're going to work on is called WP Rocket. This is the page I want to edit. I'll click on that page. Now what I want to do
Site Origin is another page builder. That's not Elementor and that's not Divi Builder.
is I want to set the paid button to point to how I'm going to get paid for this particular product. Now, just for a frame of reference, let's look at what this page looks like.
Oh my God. His designs are a choice. You know what I mean?
On the website, we'll go in
Not my style, but they're a choice.
to the Webyoda Foundation, and these guys are WP Rocket. And right now, this doesn't go anywhere. I need to add a link that's going to allow us to make money if somebody clicks on this link. So let's come back to here, and I can click on that. And so what we need is our URL that goes there. So let's go back to our affiliates page, and share a sale is who I get the WP Rocket affiliate from. So if you wanted to sign up, you go to that link. I want to log into my
And anytime you sign up for one of these, he's getting some kind of kickback. Remember that.
affiliate. So I'm going to click on there. I'll log in, and then I'm going to click on links, get a link or banner, and then I can choose from all the ones that I have. In this case, WP Rocket. I can get links. I can copy the default link, come over to the page, paste it in, hit done, hit update. Now we can go back to our page, hit reload, and now when we click on the button, it takes us to the WP Rocket website where they can purchase that product. And if they do purchase it, we'll make money off of that purchase.
I wish he also would talk about, like, how did he decide, okay, you pick your niche. He said that in part 1, but how do you find products in that niche that you might want to affiliate for? How do you evaluate whether an affiliate program is a good deal for you or not as the potential affiliate? So he's really good at the detail for the website development part, but this other part, he's showing us how to paste the link in and all that, but the sort of strategy in figuring out how to generate this list, I feel like is a little bit lacking here.
And for our 4th affiliate method, we want to do an affiliate link inside an Elementor page. So we're going to go to a different website. yourultimatevacation.com. We'll log in to the back end of that. And so we're going to go to pages. The one I'm interested in is the Jamaica page. Edit it with Elementor. I'll scroll down. Now what I want to do is I want to put a button
Oof.
next to this one.
Yeah, that's hard to read. I feel like there needs to be more contrast, in particular with the white on that yellow. I don't think it's high enough contrast for it to be readable.
And I want to make that button, if somebody clicks on it.
If you have your heart set on it, by the way, like you could make the background of couples resorts, couples sans souci. You could make that whole thing like a black rectangle, or you could put a stroke behind it, or you can make the text bigger and put a shadow behind it. There's ways to make it readable if you're really attached to this white writing on this yellow background. I just don't think this is it.
It'll take them to a place where they could make reservations for a stay at Couple Sans Souci Resort.
Sans souci is no worries, by the way.
So let's go back over to our affiliates. And a section I have is on travel affiliates. And for hotels and cars and things, bookings for planes and things like that, we've got booking.com. And then if you had anything that was cruise specific, we have cruisedirect.com. The one that's missing from here is TripAdvisor. And TripAdvisor would be great. I'd love to use them, but I can't get approved for them. The content's not enough or something. It's just really complicated for me to be able to get an affiliate approved.
TripAdvisor, I know for business listings, it has to be like a tourism-based business. And it wouldn't let me list my co-working space, for example. It had to be like a hotel, attraction, restaurant. It'll let you list it, but it will not just let you list a business that would actually serve tourists, like a co-working space. I could see TripAdvisor being a little difficult, but Google AdSense just let me in. I don't know. Maybe my content is just really good.
Same thing's true with Google AdSense. We'll still talk about the advantages of Google AdSense, but they have requirements that are real difficult for even for me to meet with what we have so far. And if I can't make it work, then I don't want to tell you to do it, and then you go get frustrated.
It's weird that my website would be approved, but his stuff does look a little sketchier than mine, though.
So unfortunately for this travel choice, TripAdvisor is not an option, but fortunately, booking.com is great. So you'd go here to sign up. Now I'm already signed up, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. Notice how it came up with a Rudicon where I could get 4%.
Okay.
What that means is once you have this set up and you want to purchase any kind of hotel or anything like that, you buy it through your own affiliate link and you'll make 4% back on your stay. So from here, I want to go to products. I'm going to scroll down until I see affiliate links. I'll choose affiliate links. And this was a little less intuitive than I wanted, but I'll walk you through. It's not too bad. Where do I want the link to go? Notice it has these different choices.
Here, let me move
I'm going
myself.
to choose hotel page, select the country. I'll choose Jamaica. That's my default because that's the one I signed up and said I wanted to use when I did my sign up to become an affiliate with them. The city this is in is Ocho Rios. And now when I scroll down, I don't need any dates or anything. I'm just going to choose show a list of links. And now there's a new search box right here. And I can type in couples. And there's the link. I'll highlight that, right click, copy it to the clipboard. Now I come in here and I'm ready to add my link. I'm going to come over and pick a button, drag it in the box. Over here, let's just put book now. I'll get rid of that pound sign and paste in my link. I'll hit update. Now that it's updated, I'll exit back to the dashboard. And then let's go visit the site. We'll go to Jamaica, scroll down. There's our pretty button. I click on our button, comes up with the hotel page for Couple Sans Souci. And anytime somebody books through this link, we'll make money. And method number 5 is to create a custom coupon code instead of using a link. In multiple networks, depending on what companies you sign up with, will allow you to make a coupon code. And the one that we're going to use as the example is Impact. So that's the link if you were going to sign up for Impact. Once you're signed up, you can use this link to log in. So I'll go ahead and log into my account.
I feel like
I'm ready to sign in.
I feel like links are generally easier because with the coupon code, you have to say, type in the code Nicole to get whatever. And sometimes people don't necessarily remember to do that. I don't know. I think just if you can preload it in with a link, why not?
Signed in to Impact. There's that same number, the amount that they owe me right now. That's how much we've made today so far, and it's still early in the day. Now we want
I think this is a little bit more up and down than he's alluding to
to
here.
go to content, promo codes, and you just request a promo code. So these are all the promo codes I have, and these are, for example, there's the one for the HostGator that you use to sign up. Instead of me having a link, I could just give you that promo code. What that means is you can put that promo code on your website, you can put it on your blog, you can put it on a YouTube video, you can put it on your social media, and anybody who goes to HostGator and types in your promo code, you'd be able to make money by them typing in your promo code, and it also gets them a discount. Now, method number 6 requires you to have Google AdSense, and I wasn't able to get approved, but it is important to point out how this works in case you can get approved. It really is neat. So let's go ahead and click on Google AdSense, and I'll log in. I actually do use AdSense, but I use it for my YouTube money because it's actually easy to get qualified to make money on YouTube.
I find the opposite is true, actually.
Though using your website is a little more difficult. So I can go to sites, told me it needed attention. That was because I didn't meet all their criteria.
Okay, I'm just seeing website quality. Hold on.
I can come in here,
I'm trying to see why he
and this
doesn't.
code right here, all I need to do is add that to my website, and it'll automatically put ads in the best places on your website. So that's pretty neat, right? So you don't have to go and figure out where to put them. On every page in your website that you want to have AdSense show up, you can just do a custom HTML tag.
Okay, I have to just see where his. Hold on. Okay, I got back to this page, and this is what it says. We found some policy violations. Your site does not meet the criteria to use the Google Publisher Network. So please review the following resources. Minimum content requirements. Make sure your site has unique, high quality content and good user experience. Webmaster quality guidelines for thin content. Webmaster quality guidelines. So it seems like it doesn't think the content on his website is like good enough. I thought they basically took whoever, honestly, but apparently not. So there you go.
Important to point out that one of the best ways to supplement your affiliate money on your website is by making YouTube videos as well. So let's say you do a review website and you're reviewing products. You can have the products reviewed in your blog, and then you can go make videos for each of those product reviews and put them on your YouTube channel. And then once your YouTube channel has 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours, it'll allow you to go ahead and monetize and let you know, hey, you're qualified to monetize now, and you can start making money, and it's good money.
I know. That's why I'm trying to monetize my channel. You know what? I appreciate this guy recorded a 3.5-hour video that is pretty useful. He deserves to be monetized. Maybe I need to do something similar.
For me, for example, we've got 10 different videos that are monetized. For example, one of them is how to make a protein shake, my favorite protein shake. But it's 10 videos, and they're short, and between those 10, I make about $100 a month. So
That's what I'm looking for, guys. I'm not looking to be the next Netflix or to be the next star of anything. I just want to make a couple $100 a month. So if you're watching this video and want to subscribe, that would be awesome.
those are 3 or 4 years old, and I'm still making on average $10 a month off each. If I'm making $100 a month total, that's $1,200 a year. If I was to get 10 times as many videos, instead of making $1,200 a year, I can make $12,000. So if you build a review site, you really have a potential for making a lot of money by adding videos of your reviews as well and bringing in multiple revenue streams for the same content.
Okay, so he's talking about making 100 videos for YouTube. And this is supposed to be passive income. I think some people watching these videos make their own YouTube videos. Does it feel passive to you to make your own videos? Because it doesn't feel very passive to me.
And method number 8, if you were to continue and add the shopping cart to your website, let's see what that looks like. So we go to her website, we click on shop, and let's say I chose the clothespins, and here's an item. And instead of adding it to the cart, it says I can buy the product. I click on it, and it takes me to the item that's at Etsy. And if this item sells, I make affiliate money off of it. Bethany makes money off of it because she's the one that runs that. But you get the idea.
Yeah.
Instead of having your own items, you can point to items that are somewhere else that you can make affiliate money off of. Those could also be Amazon links as well if you wanted.
It would probably help to have most of them be going into the same cart, because if you're affiliating, oh, I added it to the cart. Oh, I added it to the cart. Now I'm on a different website. I don't know. It might be easiest to put it all in the same site, but
Method number 9, I like to refer to as shameless donations. So let's scroll to the bottom. But now you're saying to yourself, hey, Yoda, I've been paying attention really close. I don't remember those links being there. Why are they there now? I will tell you.
I will tell you.
Originally, I was going to show you how I use donation links, but then I thought it'd make more sense to be more thorough and show you how to create the donation links so that you can use them in your website as well. So there's 2 very popular payment networks when you're doing websites, Stripe and PayPal. And we're going to go into each one of these. So we'll go to Stripe first. Now, if you don't have an account, you'll want to set one up. Otherwise, I can do sign in. And what I want to do is I want to create a payment method. Now, one of the advantages of having a Stripe account is it allows you to accept direct payments. Now, if you decide to add the shopping cart to your website, it also uses Stripe. But if you're not going to do the shopping cart, you still might want to consider having a Stripe account.
Yeah, you can do invoices through here. You can accept recurring payments. So if you wanted to like have a product where somebody paid you $2.99 a month or something as a subscription, it would automatically deduct that payment from their card every 30 days or whatever. Yeah, it is handy to have. I really like Stripe as a processor, actually.
For Webyoda, for example, it would have been difficult to collect direct payments online if we didn't have this account. So now we're going to create a donation link.
So he just showed us that. Hold on, I got to rewind a bit. Getting receipts here. Okay, so he just showed his hand. If we look at these numbers, we see that year to date, so he must have been recording this like at the beginning of May of some year. What year, I don't know, but some year at the beginning of May, he was recording this. I see that from January 1 to May 5th, can't tell what year, $16,393.46. I thought we were making $21,000 a month. All right, I'm going to figure out a way to superimpose a calculator here, but let's do some math, okay? So from January 1st to May 5th, so for 4 months in Stripe, he made $16,393.46. Let's just say he made that in 3 months for whatever reason. Now, remember, pending in his Impact affiliate sales, he had $75,000 pending. And he was saying that the reason it was being held is that it could take up to 90 days for it to be released. So let's just say that $75,000 is what he makes in 90 days. So adding those two up, so this is just Stripe and Impact, he has made $91,939. Okay, just ballparking in 3 months. So we're going to multiply that times 4 because there's 12 months in a year, not 3. So we have that he's making $367,757 with these two. Now, we're not including other affiliate things. We're not including PayPal, which maybe we'll see a screenshot there and we'll know what's going on in PayPal in a second. But so far, if we divide this up on a monthly basis, he is making $30,000. So it seems like this guy is at least making the money he says he's making. Now, what we don't know with Impact is whether that money is real or not, because in his settings, it says it's supposed to release every $100. And for some reason, it's holding at $20,000. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. There is a little fishiness, but it does appear that he's making money in these different places. At the very least in Stripe, we see that he's logged in and we see that he's clicking around on the website, which he's going to do in a second here. So I will give him credit where credit is due. It does seem like money is coming in. So
direct payments online if we didn't have this account. So now we're going to create a donation link. And to do that, we're going to go to payments and we're going to go to payment links. And notice I have a pay your invoice online. I made that one as an example so that you could see that would be something you could do for your clients. We're going to add a new payment method. At the top, select the type. We want the second option. Customers choose what to pay.
Yeah, that leaves an open-ended amount of money.
Choose a title. Fund the Webyoda Foundation. I'll go ahead and add a...
He's pretending he has a foundation. The word foundation has a certain amount of gravitas, and the idea is that it's large, has national impact. I don't know. Calling what he does a foundation is a little bit of a
Small
stretch.
description. The currency is okay. I'm going to choose to suggest a preset amount for the donation. We'll choose 20. Then I want to scroll down.
I'll move my
Under
face
advanced
again.
options, instead of the button saying pay, we'll change it to say donate. Now I can come up here and click create link. And now this is the link for our donations. I can copy that link. And now I want to go to the Webyoda site and add this to the Webyoda site. So I'll log into Webyoda's admin. I'll go to pages. I want to search for the Webyoda Foundation page. I know it has donate on it, so I can find it. So we'll edit that page. Now I want to put a button right here to the right of the title. So I'll click on add widget, button. I'll paste in our link, and then right here, make a donation. Hit done, update. Now let's see what the page looks like. There's our make a donation. Obviously you can stop.
The Webyoda Foundation was developed in 1997 by Webyoda Inc., a parent company of Wow Academy, as a means of making web design and other online training as affordable and as accessible as possible for all aspiring web designer students. The methods listed below detail the different ways the Webyoda Foundation has reached out to help make this dream a reality. If you're interested in making a difference, please use the donate button above. We would like to thank the current partners, $50+ donors, as well as our tip jar donors. Oh my God, I can't read it.
Dial that to whatever you want. I just want to show you how that works. Now, if we click on that, it takes us to the donation page. We can change the amount if we want. If you scroll down, it says donate because we told it to say donate.
There you go.
So let's close that. And now we want to look at the second method, which is the paypal.me method. So we'll click on that. And then if you don't have an account, you create one. If you do have one, you just log in. And I already have one. So what I could do is just click copy a link. But if you don't have one, you'll want to make one. And let me show you what that looks like. If I copy that link and then I paste it up here, that's what it looks like. Basically, I pick the name send friend. It happened to be available, and that ends up being my paypal.me. So we have our paypal.me link. Now let's go to YouTube, Webyoda.
I love how he puts his wife everywhere. I know she's pretty, but it's kind of random.
Click on the first video there. Now I place my paypal.me link in two places in videos. If you scroll down, the first place is inside show more, and you see it right here. I pasted it in there. And then the second place is at the top of the comments. I'll make a comment on my own page. I put the link, and then I pin it. So you see, I could unpin it, but it's pinned. I want to leave it pinned. And what me and Bethany do with these tips is we actually go out of our way to get coffee or a drink, a glass of wine or something, just to kind of remember that these are real people that made a donation. They didn't have to, but they chose to, and we really appreciated that.
I thought I was donating to the foundation to make it possible for web design students to learn. So are you helping students learn, or are you drinking wine with my money? Again, it doesn't matter, but don't say it's one thing and do another. You know what I mean?
I don't expect tips from everybody, nor should you. But if somebody decides to give you one, definitely thank them.
This is the bonus one, guys.
And our final type of affiliate is a self-promoting affiliate. This came up by accident. That's why I got added as a bonus. I added a page on Webyoda called webyoda.com/Amazon. Let's click on that. And basically, it's just a bunch of links to products I use on a regular basis and people ask me about on a regular basis. So if you scroll down, it's got different things that people have asked about over time.
They've asked you about nail clippers and the best nightlight. Okay.
They want to know, which products do I use and why did I use them? And I can answer those questions for them. So for example, I've made a number of mentions of the whey protein. If people click on that, they have access. They don't have to do the research. I've already done the research, and they can purchase the product. And if they do,
you've done the research. What qualifications do you have? I have a certain protein that I like that's vegan and all that, but I'm not a dietitian or anything. So like, I don't think that anyone cares what I have to say about it.
I make a little bit off of it. But the main point of this page is that I can give it to my friends and family. They can make it their Amazon landing page. And then any purchases they make on Amazon, I end up making a piece of it if they don't mind doing that. And most of my friends don't mind doing that because they're not Amazon affiliates. And they don't mind giving something back if there's an opportunity for me to make something off of it. And I'm sharing my knowledge. It's a win-win. So that's just another revenue stream.
So he can't get his family or friends to do affiliate marketing, but like he's doing affiliate marketing and he's clearly doing okay at it. So I'm not really sure why other people in his life aren't really on board. It's interesting.
You could consider. So that's it for the affiliate marketing methods I use to make money on websites and on YouTube. but also wanted to cover a couple more things that'll help you maximize the affiliate income you can make on your website. The first of those I'll call affiliate website best practices. Be sure to use the best pictures and content possible for your website. The way
The way that all his things are just buttons and he doesn't have pictures of anything.
Google works these days is that Google sends somebody to your site. If they stay there a while, they assume they must have enjoyed the content. If they don't stay very long, they probably didn't like the content. And that kind of makes sense. So the longer the session times are at your website, meaning the longer somebody spent there, the more Google thinks they enjoyed your website. So next time you'll come up higher in the search results. So there's definitely a correlation between the quality of your content and how high you rank in the organic search results.
The other thing about this, which I'll just say, is there's a couple of things you can do to keep people on your website. First of all, is using things like tags and categories. So if someone's like reading a blog post about something and it suggests them related articles, oh, that article sounds interesting. And then they might click onto it. So then they're staying on your site longer. The other thing you want to look for is any dead links. So if someone clicks on a link and they're directed to a page that is completely out of date or doesn't seem to exist anymore, they get a 404 error page and they're like, oh, bye, I'm gone. So finding pages that people are exiting off of and potentially either improving them or redirecting them to working pages, I think is a good thing. And also getting people to relevant content on your website right away by having unique page titles and descriptions. Because if people are looking for a bit of content, you need to signify to search engines how each page is different from the other pages on your site. So by having a unique title and description that tells the search engines, okay, if someone's looking for information about email marketing, oh, this is a much better page to send them to than this other page that it was considering, because I've written a page title and description that describes email marketing. So people will get sent there. I don't know. So those are just a few things to keep in mind too. Besides, make sure you have high quality content, find places where content quality doesn't seem to be working and fix it.
My second recommendation is to update content regularly, make improvements, because Google will notice this as well. And when it sees that you're an active website, it's more likely to bump you higher up in the search results.
Yeah, I recommend like once a week if you can. And if you can't, talk to us. Maybe we can find a way to work with you to help, and we can do that for you.
So when you're talking about making improvements in content, one of the best places you could do that is at the beginning of the year. So anytime you did a review that was about a particular year, make sure to update that year and update the review.
Is that what you did with this video? How to make an affiliate marketing website 2023? You just changed the title?
And the last is make sure you're adding new content and new blog pages on a regular basis. Google definitely notices this and will put you higher in the search results because of it. It's certainly been the case for me and my clients that the more content they add, the higher they rank in search results.
There's also a lot of diminishing returns. I had, I think, 4 years where I did a daily blog, and then several years where I did a 2 to 3 times weekly blog, and now I only post about once a week. I did get more traffic when I posted every day, but the amount of extra work it was didn't quite justify the time and expense that it was to create those additional articles. So I find that 2 to 3 times a week was my sweet spot, but yeah, you will get more traffic, but that doesn't mean the traffic is going to pay off, if that makes sense.
Now you have an affiliate website. Now you need people to come to your website. And I use 2 strategies to try to get people there. 3. The
Okay.
question is, how can you reach people when you don't already have a following? Number 1 is to adhere to the best practices we just discussed. Google definitely takes notice to new content, fresh content, quality content. They take notice to how long people stay at your page. So if you want to get better traffic, make sure you have better content. Number 2 marketing tip is paid Google AdWords. If
you want to get traffic to your site right away, the easiest thing to do is to buy ads to it.
you want to make sure you show up in the search results, pay to be in the search results. Now, Google AdWords can certainly be an expensive solution, but it certainly can
Please appreciate I'm at the 2-hour mark and the cat is like protesting.
also bring you a lot more viewers. My third suggestion is website backlinks. A backlink is a link that points to your website from another website. The more quality websites that point to you, the more valuable your website seems to Google. Also, the more quality websites that point to those websites make them look better to Google, which in turn makes you look better. Now, Webyoda uses Jose1.com for all of our backlinks. I encourage you to visit their website.
I do not know what Jose1 is. Should we take a floof break? Let's take a brief floof break. This is Bart. He likes my... Do you like my new microphone, Bart? Oh, okay. We're hitting about that 2-hour mark where we're a little impatient, aren't we? Is it time for dinner? Is it time for dinner? Oh, okay. You want attention, but you don't want to be held. You just want to walk on my desk and get fur all over it. Okay, that's fine. Here, let me make a little space next to my keyboard. Okay, hold on. Don't. Now he's biting me. Okay. All right, we've got 3 minutes left, Bart. So hang in there. We're going to power through. So yeah, links coming back into your website signifies to the internet that your website is good, right? Because if your website wasn't good, these other websites wouldn't be linking to it. So building up links to your website, social media, email marketing, business directory listings, guest posting on blogs. There's tons of ways to do it. It does take time though, but I think that time is worth it. But obviously, I'm a little biased in that regard.
They have a tutorial that teaches you how to build your own backlinks for free. They also offer subscription options, which is typically what we recommend for our clients. You'll find that the pricing is significantly less than a Google AdWords campaign, and I expect you'll be very pleased with the results. They also offer a first month money back guarantee if for some reason you're not satisfied.
I bet you 100 American dollars this guy is an affiliate for the Jose whatever thing he uses for backlinks. And by the way, I won't look into the Jose thing now, but if you're using a service for SEO and they're not telling you how they're building your backlinks, run, because they're doing weird shit and it's going to tank your website reputation. I've had clients who were coming from previous SEO people and they're like, "Oh, my guy wouldn't tell me what he was doing." I don't know. It's just weird. If someone asks me what my strategy is for building links, I'm happy to tell them what it is. And I'm happy to show them examples. And then, okay, we're starting with this many links coming into your website. We're going to work on it for 6 months. And okay, now we have this many. Like I said, it takes time to get them. But once you have them, they'll continue to work for like years to come. So I think it's worth investing the time, whether you hire someone to help you build backlinks or whether you decide to do it yourself.
Now, first, remember, these are only the basics for marketing your website. I suggest you do some research online before you take your site live to make sure you've considered all the best marketing strategies at your disposal.
Okay.
So our website is officially complete. And if you don't plan on adding the shopping cart to your website, there's one more thing you'll want to check out. At the end of this video, I have a search engine optimization section that'll teach you how to make your website liked better by the search engines.
Okay.
If you will be adding the shopping cart to your website, simply choose the link above to proceed to the shopping cart video. Then jump ahead to the section for adding the shopping cart. So we've reached the end of creating the website. I hope you've enjoyed taking the course. I know I've enjoyed being your guide and your instructor. But as promised, I had 4 really key things that I wanted to add at the end of this video.
Okay, guys, 3 more minutes and then we're done. We're going to learn 4 SEO tips in 3 minutes. So this sounds economical time-wise compared to some slow stuff we were going through toward the beginning of this video.
It'll help your website show up in the search engines better.
Okay, great.
The first tip is that inside of WordPress, there's a place that specifically discourages search engines from indexing your site. Once your website's live, you don't want it to be discouraged from being indexed. So let's fix that.
By default, the indexing is turned on. So you would have had to turn it off for this to be a thing. But okay, let's see where it is. It's something you can check anyway.
Exit to the dashboard. And then we're going to look for settings. And under settings, we're going to reading. And this may or may not be set depending on when and how yours was done. And look at that. Search engine visibility, discourage search engines from indexing this site. I definitely want to turn that off and hit Save Changes. Tip number 2. There is an amazing plugin out there called Yoast. Every website that ranks higher than yours probably has
Yoast SEO and also all-in-one SEO. They're both good. They both let you do some of the things that he's about to talk about. I know that Yoast can conflict with certain themes and all-in-one SEO can conflict with certain themes. So just pick one that doesn't conflict with your theme.
Also free. So we're going to go to plugins. We're going to add a new plugin. And over here, type in Yoast. 5
Yoast like toast, but with a Y.
billion active installations. Tells you something. So let's go ahead and install it. Let's activate it. Now you have the most powerful plugin for doing SEO available. Tip number 3.
What this plugin will allow you to do is write unique page titles and descriptions for each of your pages and also each of your product pages. So it's totally worth doing that. And it's worth doing that by using things like keywords. So I think I have a tutorial on the YouTube channel of how to do this, and I will link it in the show notes.
Secure pages. Google likes websites that have a lock. Google likes websites that are mobile friendly. So if we can do both of those things, we're going to ensure that our website's liked better.
So basically turn on HTTPS. So make sure you have a secure certificate.
Tip number 4, you want to make sure the search engines think the value of your website's stronger than any of your competitions. Obviously, having a lot of great graphics and great content in your website makes a difference. Having a really good look and feel like this website makes a difference. However, one of the number 1 things that improve your search engine results is by having other websites point to you. If somebody else's website
Backlinks.
Site has a link to you that's called a backlink. The more backlinks you have, the more important your website seems to Google. The more backlinks the people who point to you have, the more important they seem, which also means the more important you are. Now, it seems like a lot of work, but if you go to jose1.com, these guys will teach you everything you need to know about backlinks. That's basically all they do. And if you look at it, Jose1 SEO literally is their middle name, so they know what they're doing. Now,
Jose1 SEO is their middle name.
under SEO Solutions, it shows you the basics, the terminology, and the details. They'll teach you everything you need to know as far as making your own backlinks, how it works, how to make the system work for you. And if you decide you don't want to put the time in to build them yourself, you can also contact them. So if you decide to use Jose1 services, be sure to
use the promo code Webyoda so that I get my cut.
mention the promo code Webyoda, and that'll save.
So he made this video to be helpful, but also he made this video so that if you buy any of this stuff, he's getting a cut of it.
Be 50% off your first month with a 100% guarantee on that first month. If you don't like it, you get your money back. Now, I truly hope I covered everything you needed in this tutorial. Now, if there was something I didn't mention or you had additional questions, please leave them below. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. But if I don't know the answer, I'll go, hey, I don't know. But if I do know the answer, I can find the answer, I'll give it to you, and maybe we can work on it together. So I really enjoyed doing this. I hope you had a great time as well. The only real payment I'm looking for, if I could possibly get a subscribe out of this, possibly a like out of this, that'd be super helpful. But outside of that, I just hope you have a great day. Peace out.
All right. So I think that this guy knows what he's doing. He had some solid advice. He did skip the child theme thing, which I'm a little bit concerned about. And he spent a lot of time on the whiz bang design things and not talking about things like how to figure out your content, how to figure out your website colors, and all of that. So, like I said, some of that I did this ahead of time, and here's how I did it ahead of time would have been really great. But overall, I think this guy knows what he's doing. Again, I also wish he would have said that when there was a promo code that I'm an affiliate for this, or said something more directly about getting a portion of each sale when he mentioned something specifically. But honestly, he's one of the least problematic people that I've ever reviewed on the channel. And I'd actually watch some of his other videos, and I learned a couple of things watching this one. I think you just need to remember that he makes his money off affiliate marketing. So if he's making a recommendation with a special link or coupon code, that he's getting a cut of that. So just keep that in mind. And maybe don't get all your information from one person. I say this even including me in this example. So if you watch a video about how to build a WordPress site, you're like, okay, watch another video about how to build a WordPress site. See how that other person approaches it. And what you can do is say, oh, I watched 3 videos about how to build a WordPress site and they all mention this. So this must be important. So that's a way you can figure out, without knowing exactly how to build a website yourself, how to figure out if the information is good or not, is if multiple people are mentioning the same things. If they're very different kinds of people and they're still mentioning the same things, I think that's pretty powerful. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Let me know how you like the longer format videos. I'll be curious to see your impressions of them. I still had to divide this one into 2 because that first part was long. If you want to lightly keep in touch with my company, we do a monthly email newsletter. It is monthly. I won't bug you any more than that. And if you want to see what you're getting into first, if you go to breakingeveninc.com/newsletter, you'll see examples of our past newsletters there. So you can decide whether it's your thing or not before you sign up. And if you like this content, I hope you consider subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 so we can monetize the content and I can justify spending more time making videos and thinking about other formats that we could do here. I appreciate your support regardless. Even a thumbs up, a comment, it's all great. And thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Take care.